Happy Thursday. Today's home workout, we're doing 50 devil presses for time. So, with that being said, a little trick to it. Every minute on the minute, you're gonna be doing 5 jumping air squats. So, the longer it takes, the more jumping air squats you're gonna be doing. From 0 to 1, you'll have that freebie minute to do as many devil presses as you can. Then every minute after that, you're gonna have to stop every time between and do your 5 jumping air squats. So this means for the devil presses today, pick weights, progressions that you can do at least 4 to 5 reps within a minute. If you're doing only 1 per minute or 2 per minute, you're going to be going into that farther region into the workout, so it's not going to be the intent to be a 20-25 minute workout. I want you to be within a range of 15 minutes there, plus or minus 3 minutes, depending on what kind of weights you have and what kind of progressions you use for today. Devil presses are basically kind of like a burpee, coming down with 2 weights in our hands, coming down, doing that push-up, and then taking the weights all the way overhead from the ground. So it'll be key to really find something that works for you, where you can keep the technique and be able to get about 4 to 5 reps within every minute there. It's a great one, guys. You'll be punished every minute there with the 5 jumping air squats, and they'll slowly start to add up and chew out time from your minute. So the faster you finish, the less jumping air squats you have to do here. Once you finish that great workout there, we're going to go into that 2-minute saddle stretch. We're going to try to open up those hip flexors. We're going to be really tight from doing that extension, trying to get the weights overhead, and also doing the jumping air squats. So we're going to really start to get tight in the legs and those hip flexors, the glutes. So it'll be a good little afterburner to do that stretch to kind of cool off from the workout there. So great little short workout today, guys. Hope you guys will enjoy this one at home. And the afterburner is a good one to kind of cool down. We'll see you guys next to get this started with the warm-up.
Okay guys, for today's warm-up, we are doing 2 rounds of 50 running skips. If you don't have a skipping rope, you can just jog on the spot for 50 steps. Or if you want, you can do 25 jumping jacks. After you're done that, you're gonna go for 5 single-legged deadlifts on one side and then 5 on the other. For the single-legged deadlift, the goal here is to just extend that back leg so you can feel your glute squeeze, you can squeeze your butt, and then you're just gonna lean forward, trying to raise the heel up as the shoulders come down. So I'm trying to keep my body in a nice lever position. So I don't wanna bend my back knee or keep my leg low. I wanna try to move as a lever all the way down and then all the way back up again. This will be a balance test. If you're a little wobbly, kind of fall out of it, that's totally fine. That's a part of what we're working on. So if you kind of fall out of it, just recatch yourself, get your balance, and then get onto that next rep. Once you're done that, you're gonna go for 50 more running skips. Once you're done that, you're gonna get into some bent over rows. So 5 on one side, 5 on the other. So with that object in your hand, we're just gonna fold forward. Notice how my back is staying flat, head and neck are neutral. And I'm gonna think about leading back with my elbow and then up, and I'm gonna squeeze that muscle in between that shoulder blade until I'm done 5 reps on one side, and then I'm gonna switch to the other. Notice that my elbow is staying nice and close to my body. I'm not looking forward and putting stress on my neck. I'm just trying to keep that spine lengthened. So you're gonna do 2 rounds of that. Once you're done that, you're gonna go for 2 more rounds. The first movement we're gonna go over is the staggered push-up. So normally in a push-up, your hands are about slightly outside the shoulder width. For this one, we're gonna keep our hands in the same spot, but we're gonna go up and out a little bit with one hand, down and back a little bit with the opposite hand. So we're still thinking about keeping that perfect plank position, and then we're just gonna move one hand forward and out, one hand back and out, and same rules apply in that push-up. If you guys need to go off your knees, you totally can do that as well. Once you're done 5 one way, you're gonna bring the other hand up, opposite hand down, core nice and tight, all the way down, all the way up again. play around with it as you go here, guys. You can get your hands a little bit further and wider apart as you go. Make it a little more challenging. It's supposed to feel a little bit awkward as you go, so just work with the distancing of your hands. Once you're done 5 one way, 5 the other way, you're gonna go for 25 double unders. If you don't have a skipping rope, you can do the double tap hops. Or if you want to, you can still go for those 25 jumping jacks. Once you're done those, we are now going into a staggered squat. So normally in our squat position, feet are slightly outside the width of the hips. Obviously, normally the feet would be in line. For this one, my one foot's gonna come forward and slightly out, the other one's gonna go back and slightly out, and we're just gonna come down into that squat as we would 5 times on one side, and then we're gonna go back to neutral, reset our body, switch to the other side, and we're gonna go back into that staggered squat on the other side. Enjoy the warm-up, guys. It's 2 rounds of both of those. We'll see you next in the workout.
For the devil presses, you'll need 2 objects, same weight here, guys. As mentioned, devil presses are very similar to a burpee, except you're going to be doing a burpee with weight in your hands. So first, you'll start off with the objects on the floor. Just think about that push-up stance that you would go with for your push-up there. You're going to put your hands down on that object. You can step back or jump back. So again, I'm stepping back here. I'm going to do that push-up. Chest comes down to the floor. And from here, I'm going to kick up and get my feet close to the object. So coming up, close to the objects there, trying to keep that back as flat as I can. I'm going to now snatch both the objects overhead. So you drive through the legs and get the objects straight overhead. If you need to, you can also clean and press it overhead if needed, if you're not comfortable with snatching it quite yet overhead. But again, biggest thing here, guys, when you're coming up into this position, try to stay nice and upright, chest up, so you're ready to pick up those objects, or if you're cleaning with a safe back angle as you're doing it, guys. So make sure you're not in that hunched over position. You might be getting a little tired, you might be too prone to doing that. So just watch out for that, try to get nice and set before you launch those objects overhead. Those will be the devil presses for today. Moving into those air squats next. So air squats here, guys. Big thing, keep that chest tall. I like to kind of keep my hands out in front of me so that when I'm getting tired, I'm not looking down as I'm squatting. So I know some of you, when you get tired, hands kind of flop to the sides or in front of you and you're looking down. Try to keep those hands up a little bit taller and look straight ahead to keep that chest tall, and also to allow you to keep your weight more distributed towards that mid-foot and the heel. So again, as opposed to doing this, guys, let's try to keep our hands up and try to stay on that mid-foot to heel more as we're coming down in our squat and coming up from our squat.
Okay, let's cool off here again with some stretching, a 2-minute stretch of the saddle stretch. Feel free to use an object to support you. It could be yoga blocks. I got my friend Wilson here. So I'm gonna use that to demonstrate the progression. But if you don't need that, you don't have to use it. So saddle stretch here, guys. You wanna start by first, you're upright, squeeze your butt. Notice, I don't know if you guys can see it. Notice my hip, I have that tilt in my hip. I want to tuck my pelvis in before I sit down to make sure that my hip's in a better position. From there, always double check. Can you squeeze the glute? You need to shuffle around, kind of reset your hip and pelvis position. If that feels good, now you can start working your way down. The intent in area focus here is to not just stretch your quads, get a little bit of hip flexor. I know for myself, if I'm not feeling too tight in that area, I actually start getting my groin a little bit as well, just because I'm squeezing my glutes the entire time. So squeeze your butt as you go down. Now, you can use that object behind you to support. Notice the difference. I'm not activating my glutes, I'm activating my glutes. That's gonna protect your low back So squeeze your bum, keep your core tight. If this feels okay and you're looking to progress it a little further, drop down to the elbows. Okay, again, anytime you drop down in progression, you're squeezing your glutes. If that feels fine, take it to the floor, guys. Squeeze your bum, keep your core slightly active. Hang out there for 2 minutes, find that progression. Maybe you're progressing within the 2 minutes. When you come back up, guys, use those arms so it doesn't hurt your back, guys, and prop yourself back up. And 2 minutes, when you find that stretch that you like, start repeating it a little bit more throughout the week, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.